First, diplomatic developments. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have signed a new strategic mutual defense agreement. What does this mean? Well, under the pact, an attack on either country could be considered an aggression against both. The agreement was signed by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Now, the deal comes days after an Israeli strike in Doha targeting Hamas leaders reportedly. But the US has criticized this initial attack as a unilateral attack. Now, in response, India's Ministry of External Affairs has acknowledged the signing. The Indian government says that it's aware of the development and assured that it will closely study its implications on national security and regional stability. I'm going to bring you more context here. We're also waiting for reporters to join us and tell us a little bit more. Siddhant, first tell us broadly, and we'll come to you with more questions. But first, for India, what does this effectively mean? For example, if there's another India versus Pakistan situation that comes up like what we saw a few months ago, what does this effectively mean for India?
Well, Toya, it is very important to put things in context. So this defense cooperation between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan is nothing new. This has been going on from last many decades. In fact, the Pakistani army has trained the army of Saudi Arabia. In fact, their unit is stationed in Riyadh, etc., etc. So all these things are already in public domain now. Yesterday, during the visit to Riyadh, Shehbaz Sharif and Asim Munir's visit to Riyadh, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia has signed strategic mutual defense agreement. So, as per this agreement, an attack against one country would be seen as an attack against the other country. Against both countries. But such agreements are often about protecting Saudi land by renting Pak army, not the other way around. But still, this pact has raised eyebrows in India. And in fact, there's a statement which has come from Ministry of External Affairs. And Ministry of External Affairs' statement says that Government of India was aware that this agreement has been in consideration. India will study the implication of this development for its national security as far as regional and global stability is concerned. And government remains committed to protecting India's national interest and ensuring comprehensive national security in all domains. So as I said, that this arrangement between the Saudi army and Pakistani army is nothing new. They have a deep defense cooperation, which has been going on from last many decades. Even Pakistani army has trained Saudi army, and they have their teams also deployed in Riyadh. But this is for the first time that such an agreement has been signed between the two sides. That if an attack on one country, then it will be considered as an attack on the other country as well. So it definitely has an implication on India's security, India's national interest, and perhaps this is the reason a response has come from Ministry of External Affairs. Toya.
Okay, and Siddhant, to understand more, because I understand that you just said that two things are true at the same time. Firstly, that a relationship has existed between both of these countries for years now, a strategic relationship exactly like this one, but also that this is in some ways very significant. So Siddhant, if we wanted to understand from you exactly what this would mean, so would it actually mean that Saudi Arabia's allies, Saudi Arabia's other partners would also step up if anything happened to Pakistan? How do we understand this more?
Well, this has to do that if tomorrow Saudi Arabia is attacked or aggression has been shown towards Saudi Arabia by any other country, so that would also be considered as an aggression shown towards the Pakistani land. It's kind of a NATO kind of an agreement which has been signed between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. Now, also, Toya, very important to highlight the context in which this has been signed. So this is after Israel's rising aggression in the Middle East, which has brought Pakistan in the bigger game. In fact, the rising tension in the Middle East, we just had Israel violating Qatar's sovereignty. Perhaps that has definitely raised concern with the Gulf state of their security. And perhaps this is one of the reasons that immediately this agreement has been signed between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. So now the Gulf states are also looking for more security agreements, arrangements with the friends and partner countries, and this definitely has to do with Israel's recent attack on Qatar.
Okay, Siddhant, thank you for bringing us these details. Okay, let's bring you more around this defense